My name's Angelo, and welcome to We Want Picks. We break down full fight cards every single week. We give you our picks, our bets, and our fantasy plays. Make sure you like and subscribe so you don't miss any of our content. And this is brought to you by Earn You. Earn You is the world's first sports and esports prediction game, allowing you to earn crypto risk-free. Check it out now at earnu.com. And ODDSJAM. ODDSJAM has the fastest real-time data integrations to spot discrepancies between different sportsbooks and helping users place risk-free bets. Check them out at oddsjam.com. Next up, at UFC 273, we have Aspen Ladd taking on short notice replacement Raquel Pennington. Aspen Ladd is 9-2 overall, 3-2 in her last 5, coming off a disappointing return after a 2-year layoff. Raquel Pennington, 13-8 overall, 4-1 in her last 5. She's riding a 3-fight win streak, and she is coming off a stoppage win, which was pretty impressive, especially for her just 3 months ago. I mentioned Raquel Pennington. She's stepping up on short notice. Aspen Ladd's original opponent, Irene Aldana, dropped. And Raquel Pennington, she is Tecia Torres' girlfriend. They live together. They train together. Tecia Torres is on this card. We just have to assume Raquel Pennington is in shape, and she's in every single one of those training sessions getting in the same work. So while it's short notice and being a training partner is not true fight camp, I imagine her cardio will be just fine. Raquel Pennington is a tried and true vet. She's been fighting the top of the division for about 10 years. If you look at her record, she has only lost to the best women on the planet. Her last losses have all been to current or former champions. She marches forward with strikes, and then she just controls you from there. She's got a pretty boring grappling style, and her last fight is obviously excluded from this, but her last fight was her first stoppage since 2015. So you got to factor in everything, not just that one fight. But she does have that boring grappling style because she's not really looking to get you to the ground. She's not looking to submit you. She just sort of holds you against the cage, controls you, removes whatever tools you may have, and then rides out a decision. But she's got good cardio, and she's pretty sound everywhere. Aspen Ladd, I mentioned she's coming off that. She had a 2-year layoff. She came back, and she lost to Norma Dumont. And she was just a step behind that entire fight. Technique-wise, she's not very technical, but she's really, really tough. She's decent everywhere, and she has zero quit in her whatsoever. She isn't just a wild striker, though. She can grapple. She took down Yana Kunitskaya before her layoff twice. Sijara Eubanks down 3 times. And this is a trickier fight to break down than Irene Aldana because I thought Irene Aldana was going to beat Aspen Ladd. Just touch and go, keep the jab in her face, super fast, and Aspen would be a step behind, just like her last fight. But this is very different. Raquel Pennington is not that type of striker. She just comes in, holds you against the cage. And Raquel Pennington is very good. She's very experienced, but styles make fights. And I think Pennington's style of just hold you against the cage and win a decision, I don't know how well that works with Aspen because Aspen is a dog and she's tough. I don't think she's just going to accept having her back against the cage. She didn't accept anything in that Norma loss. And yes, she was a step behind and really couldn't make up that distance. But she didn't accept any of that. She just continued to fight, continued to come forward, continued to make something happen. I like Aspen Ladd to win here. She's a massive underdog. And this is one of those things. I broke it down and then I looked at the odds. And then when I saw the odds, I'm like, am I an idiot? Am I like way off here? And I get it. Raquel Pennington has literally only lost 2 champions. She's only lost to champions in the UFC. Every loss is a champion. But styles make fights, and I think Aspen trying to get off that cage, not accepting that, staying busy, throwing hands, knowing that her career is sort of in the balance. Both of these women fighting at 135 instead of 45. You know, I like Aspen Ladd to win here. I'm not going to do a money line bet on her, even though the odds are fantastic. I might do a plus 3.5, though. Because even if she doesn't win the fight, I think she absolutely wins a single round because she's got no quit in her. So if you don't know what a plus 3.5 is, you buy 1 round. You just buy 1 round on the judge's scorecard. So all that needs to happen is Aspen wins 1 round on her own, which come off the cage, throw some hands, maybe get your own takedown. She can win a round. I think she wins the fight, but she can absolutely win 1 round. And then I bought the other round and your bet cashes. You're only going to get that at WeWantPicks.com/bets. We have 5 partners. BetOnline is the one partner that lets you buy a round on the scorecard. Jakey, what do you think?
I'll tell you what, Angelo. For the first time...
Shut up.
I'm just kidding. I'm done with the lock of the weeks. But I will say, I mean, I do kind of agree with you with this fight. I saw this, and I understand why Raquel is the favorite because she's looked great in the last few fights. She is nasty. And Aspen in her last fight was an embarrassing performance. But if you look at mixed martial artists, Aspen Ladd's the better fighter. I think from top to bottom, except for those kind of clinch situations. I think Raquel kind of shines in those situations. But top to bottom, I think Aspen is the better fighter in this matchup. So, I mean, if you're looking at odds and you're picking a fight, it's hard not to pick the better fighter regardless of how she looked in her last fight. And I actually think that that's going to help her performance in this fight because it was so embarrassing. Not only the way she performed, but the way her coaches were yelling at her in the corner, like, what the hell are you doing? I think she was completely out of it for whatever reason. Maybe it was no fans, maybe whatever. I think she comes out and tries to prove a point. We've seen before in the past in her fights how disgusting. She is nasty. She gets on the ground with those elbows. She is, as you said, just tough as shit, comes in, does whatever she wants to do in those fights typically. That was maybe it was the jitters coming off the layoff. We'll see what happens. I think she comes out and just steamrolls Raquel Pennington. I don't think she's going to be able to put her away because Raquel is tough. But I think she's able to get the takedowns that she used to get, able to land the ground and pound that she used to do. The big question mark is she going to make weight? She's had weight cut issues before. She's missed weight a number of times. Last fight was at the 145. We'll see how she looks on the scale because she's had some scary moments on the scale before. So it'll be interesting to see how she looks on the scale. If she looks fine, I'm going to be all in on Aspen Ladd. I don't have any bets on her right now. She's not my lock of the week. She is my pick in this fight. And I agree. I think people are underplaying the importance of Tisha being on this card too, because that does mess with you. We've seen that before with, I guess, JP buys and Cheyenne not buys anymore, but we've seen that happen. People, spouses and boyfriend or girlfriend and stuff on the cards. I think it messes with you mentally. I really do. So Tisha being on the card, I don't like that for Raquel. I'm picking Aspen Ladd.
I'm very surprised that we agree here. I thought for sure nobody else agrees with me. I'm seeing every comment for my quick picks was just trashing it. So I'm surprised we agree here. Aspen Ladd, $7,300.
I mean, people forget how good Aspen Ladd really is. They saw that last fight and they're like, oh, I mean, she's good. She's a very good fighter.
Well, and she had a 2-year layoff. Like, it was 2 full years. And people, Dominic Cruz. No, it was a 2-year layoff. And it affected her. And she was fighting a very crisp, mobile striker. And that is not what Raquel Pennington is. So we're surprisingly aligned on this fight. DraftKings, $7,300. Listen, we said it. You need underdogs for your DraftKings lineup because there's some tremendous favorites that unfortunately are worth the money. So I think she's a solid underdog at $7,300. I'm seeing comments, this is a 50-50 fight. So if you think this is a 50-50 fight and you're going to get these kind of odds and this kind of DraftKings pricing on one of them, you got to do it. You got to do it. I'm assuming you agree, you're nodding your head. Monkey knife fight, it probably is more. I don't think there's a stoppage here. Both these women will go at it. They're both super tough. And honestly, it's probably more or less because Raquel Pennington is not a high volume person. So it's probably more or less. What do you think of the monkey knife fight strike line?
I think it's a more. I agree. I think this is, if there was ever a fight that I was going to put a lot of money on to go decision, it's probably this one. They're both tough. They both just stay in the pocket. Neither one of them has crazy power. So
yeah, more. Okay. Wow. Look at us agreeing on everything. And if you want to check out Monkey Knife Fight, go to WeWantPicks.com/MKF. They will instantly match your deposit up to $100.